A brutal stabbing inside a quiet Michigan motel has turned into a nationwide manhunt. In the early morning of June 13, a 34-year-old man was attacked inside the Timberly Motel in Gaylord. But what shocked authorities even more was how the suspect vanished, traveling over 1,000 miles while armed and dangerous. After a tense chase crossing state lines, police finally made the arrest. This is the full story behind the Gaylord Motel stabbing and the manhunt that gripped two states. It all started on June 13, 2025, inside the Timberly Motel, located on South Otsego Avenue in Gaylord, Michigan. At approximately 1 in the morning, emergency services responded to reports of a violent stabbing inside one of the motel rooms. Upon arrival, they found a 34-year-old male victim suffering from multiple stab wounds. Despite the severity of the attack, the victim was immediately transported to Munson Otsego Memorial Hospital, where he was listed in stable condition. The scene was quickly secured by local law enforcement, who immediately launched an investigation into the violent assault. Very quickly, investigators were able to identify a suspect in the stabbing. The man was identified as Darryl Damien Fisher-Stubbs, a 36-year-old individual with known ties to the victim. Authorities confirmed that Fisher-Stubbs and the victim were acquainted, though the exact nature of their relationship has not been publicly disclosed. What alarmed police was the fact that Fisher-Stubbs was believed to be armed and dangerous. Immediately after the attack, he fled the scene, triggering a statewide alert. Law enforcement agencies warned the public that Fisher-Stubbs could still be carrying a weapon and should not be approached under any circumstances. With the suspect fleeing the scene and still armed, the situation escalated into a high-risk manhunt that required swift coordination between multiple law enforcement agencies. The Otsego County Sheriff's Office immediately issued a statewide alert, warning the public that Darryl Damien Fisher-Stubbs was on the run and considered highly dangerous. It became clear early on that Fisher-Stubbs was not staying within Michigan's borders. Investigators began tracking his movements, working closely with authorities in neighboring states to expand the search radius. Leads indicated that the suspect was traveling rapidly, covering hundreds of miles in a short period of time. Less than 24 hours after the stabbing, the manhunt stretched nearly 1,000 miles from the original crime scene. On June 14, in the early morning hours, law enforcement located Fisher-Stubbs in Seward County, Kansas. He was taken into custody without incident. The multi-agency coordination and fast interstate response were credited with safely bringing the suspect into custody before any further violence could occur. Following his arrest in Seward County, Kansas, Darryl Damien Fisher-Stubbs was placed into custody without incident. The successful capture concluded an intense manhunt that stretched across multiple states. After his arrest, Fisher-Stubbs remained held in Kansas while law enforcement agencies worked to finalize the legal process required for extradition back to Michigan. Once returned to Otsego County, Fisher-Stubbs will face a series of serious criminal charges directly connected to the violent stabbing that occurred inside the Timberly Motel on June 13. The anticipated charges include attempted murder, which carries severe potential sentencing under Michigan law, along with felony assault with a deadly weapon, and additional possible weapons violations related to his flight while armed. Prosecutors will closely examine all collected evidence, including forensic results from the crime scene, witness interviews, and the circumstances surrounding his escape. Authorities have not yet announced an official court date, but due to the violent nature of the attack and the fact that the suspect crossed state lines in an attempt to evade capture, many legal experts expect that court proceedings will move forward without significant delay. Meanwhile, the victim continues to recover from his injuries while investigators work to build the full case that will ultimately be presented before a judge. Additional charges may still be considered as the investigation continues. While the suspect has now been captured and the legal process is underway, many questions still remain unanswered about this violent incident. Authorities have not yet released any details about what exactly led up to the stabbing. The relationship between Darryl Damien Fisher-Stubbs and the 34-year-old victim remains unclear, leaving open the possibility of personal disputes, past conflicts, or unknown motives that triggered the attack inside the Timberly Motel room. Additionally, there are still questions about how Fisher-Stubbs managed to travel nearly 1,000 miles in such a short amount of time after the stabbing. Investigators have not disclosed whether he acted alone during his flight or if others may have assisted him in evading law enforcement. These unanswered questions will likely be addressed as the investigation continues and additional facts are uncovered through the court proceedings. For now, the community in Gaylord can breathe a little easier, knowing that the suspect is behind bars and awaiting trial. As more information becomes available, this case may reveal deeper details about what really happened inside that motel room during the early morning hours of June 13. This investigation is far from over. As authorities continue to gather evidence and more details begin to surface, we will likely learn much more about the events that led to this violent stabbing, the motive behind it, and how the suspect managed to travel so far in such a short period of time. I'll be closely following this case and bringing you every verified update as soon as new information is released. If you want to stay informed on this case and many others like it, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next update. Also, let me know your thoughts down in the comments. What do you think led to this brutal motel stabbing? Do you believe more people may have been involved in helping the suspect escape? Your input always adds valuable perspective to these unfolding cases. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next story.